Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins and this detailed look into the 1945 1-cent coin from the United States, a fascinating piece of American history that continues to capture the attention of collectors and coin enthusiasts across the country and around the world. Today we are diving deep into the story, the value, the minting details, the varieties, the errors, the rarity factors, and everything that makes the 1945 wheat penny such an interesting and widely collected coin. Whether you're a beginner researching old pennies, someone who found this coin in change, or a serious collector looking for historical insight, this discussion will guide you through everything worth knowing about the 1945 1-cent coin from the United States. The 1945 penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat series, also known as the Wheatback penny, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins are instantly recognizable by the wheat stalks on the reverse and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The 1945 1-cent coin holds a special place in the series because it was minted during the final year of World War II, making it not only a collectible coin but also a small reminder of the wartime era in the United States. While steel cents were issued in 1943 due to wartime metal shortages, the 1945 penny returned to traditional copper composition, made from around 95% copper with the remainder in tin and zinc. Millions of these coins were struck for circulation, with production taking place at 3 United States mint locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. The Philadelphia mint produced the largest number, making the no mint mark 1945 penny the most commonly encountered example today. Denver and San Francisco also produced large quantities, but coins from these mints can still draw more attention from collectors when found in exceptional condition or displaying notable minting varieties. Even though the 1945 1-cent coin is common in worn condition, the true excitement for collectors comes from finding coins that remain well preserved, with original luster and sharp details. A bright reddish appearance is especially appealing because many copper coins darken over time to brown or deep chocolate coloration. The level of preservation can make a large difference in collector interest and overall desirability. Coins that avoided circulation and kept their original surfaces are harder to find today because most pennies from that era were used frequently and carried in pockets, purses, and cash registers for decades. Another reason collectors pay attention to the 1945 penny is the range of interesting varieties and minting errors that can appear on coins from this year. Some examples include off-center strikes, broad strikes without complete rims, clipped planchets, die cracks that create raised lines across the surface, lamination errors where the metal separates due to impurities, and repunched mint marks on Denver or San Francisco pieces. These varieties can make a coin more appealing to collectors searching for unique pieces. The repunched mint mark, often found on the 1945D and 1945S pennies, occurs when the mint mark was punched into the die more than once, creating doubling or shadow-like impressions. While not every example is rare, strong and clear repunching can draw premium interest. Another type of variety sometimes discussed with the 1945 penny is the possibility of doubled dies, although strong doubled die examples from this year are not as widely confirmed or dramatic as those from other dates. Still, collectors always check for any unusual doubling on lettering, the motto, or the portrait. Small mechanical doubling also appears on coins from the era, although this type of doubling is much more common and typically less significant. The important part for collectors is learning to observe details closely, especially around the date, the mint mark, the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and the wheat lines on the reverse. The historical background of the 1945 penny is also a major part of its appeal. This coin was minted during the final year of World War II, a time when the United States was shifting from wartime production back to normal domestic life. Metal resources were still closely managed, and even though copper was restored after the temporary use of steel in 1943, every resource was valuable. Millions of these coins passed through the hands of American families, workers, and soldiers returning home. Because of its wartime connection, the 1945 penny remains a meaningful keepsake not only for collectors but also for anyone interested in American history. Collectors often look for crisp and sharp details on the wheat ears on the reverse, especially the lines inside the wheat stalks, which tend to wear down quickly in circulation. Full steps and defined grains can make a coin more desirable because they indicate minimal wear. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln should show clear hair detail, sharp facial features, and clean lettering. A smooth, unblemished surface without spots, scratches, or environmental damage also increases collector interest. Copper coins are known to develop toning over time, ranging from brown to deep red hues, and certain attractive toning can enhance a coin's visual appeal. Even though most 1945 pennies are common, a small number survive in exceptional condition, and these coins are the ones that collectors pay the most attention to today. Coins stored in original rolls or left untouched for decades may still retain brilliant red color. These pieces are much harder to find now compared to earlier generations, especially as copper darkens or becomes spotted with age. Another factor that affects the value and interest of 1945 wheat pennies is the presence of mint-made errors that were never corrected. Off-center strikes with a large portion of the design missing, coins struck on faulty planchets, or pieces showing dramatic die breaks can attract significant attention depending on severity. Collectors also enjoy finding coins with strong repunched mint marks, particularly bold varieties from the Denver and San Francisco mints. These small details make the search for 1945 pennies exciting, even when the date itself is common. Today, the 1945 1-cent coin remains one of the most recognizable Lincoln wheat pennies in American circulation history. While most examples have modest value in circulated condition, the historical meaning, the copper composition, the minting varieties, and the potential for well-preserved examples continue to make it a popular coin among collectors. Whether found in a coin jar, inherited from a family collection, or discovered through careful searching, the 1945 penny serves as a reminder of an important period in United States history. If you have a 1945 penny, looking closely at the mint mark, the condition, the color, and any unusual features can help determine whether your coin is just a common circulated example or something more interesting. Coins with sharp details and original red surfaces stand out the most. Denver and San Francisco mint coins with strong repunched mint marks or dramatic errors also gain attention. Even though millions were made, only a small portion remain in exceptional condition, which is why collectors continue searching for standout pieces from this year. First up, Drummer Boy Quarter, officially known as the United States Bicentennial Quarter dated 1776 to 1976, remains one of the most searched, most collected, and most talked about coins in American history. Today we are diving deep into the Drummer Boy Quarter value, rare bicentennial quarter era coins, and why millions of collectors continue searching for this iconic 1776 to 1976 quarter. Whether someone is new to coin collecting or already familiar with United States quarters, the Drummer Boy Quarter remains a powerful symbol of American independence and continues to create excitement because certain bicentennial quarters can be worth much more than face value depending on mint mark, composition, condition, and rare errors. The 1776 to 1976 Drummer Boy Quarter was released to honor the 200th anniversary of the United States. Instead of the normal eagle design on the reverse, the country introduced a brand new special design featuring a colonial drummer with a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars representing the original colonies. This unique reverse artwork was created by Jack R., and it instantly set the bicentennial quarter apart from every other quarter ever made. Millions of people saved these coins as souvenirs, and that is why so many Drummer Boy Quarters are still found today in pocket change. But even though hundreds of millions were minted, not all 1776 to 1976 quarters are the same. Some mint marks, some silver bicentennial quarters, and certain error coins are far more desirable to collectors today. The obverse of the Drummer Boy Quarter still features George Washington, but instead of the regular date, it displays the dual date 1776 to 1976. This dual date covers all bicentennial quarters because no United States quarters were minted with the year 1975. Every quarter made during that period carried the 1776 to 1976 date, and that makes this coin historically unique. People often ask how to identify rare bicentennial quarters, and the first step is checking the mint mark. Three primary versions exist: the Philadelphia quarter with no mint mark, the Denver quarter with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco quarter with an S mint mark. The S mint mark appears only on special collector strikes, including proof and silver bicentennial quarters. While billions of regular circulation Drummer Boy Quarters were made at Philadelphia and Denver, the San Francisco Mint produced much lower quantities, especially the silver 40% bicentennial quarter. These silver Drummer Boy Quarters were part of special collector sets and never released for general circulation. Many people still own these without realizing they contain silver, and that increases interest and value. The easiest way to identify a silver bicentennial quarter is by checking the edge for a solid silver-colored band instead of the normal copper core. Collectors continue to search for these because silver bicentennial quarters are among the most valuable examples of the Drummer Boy design. In addition to silver and mint marks, rare Drummer Boy quarter errors also create value. Some 1776 to 1976 quarters were struck with die cracks, off-center strikes, double die features, and clipped planchets. A double die obverse or reverse can show extra thickness in the lettering or details of the drummer and drumsticks. An off-center strike shows the design shifted, with missing portions of the rim. A clipped planchet displays a curved missing section from the edge. These types of bicentennial quarter errors draw strong attention from collectors because they are far less common than regular strikes. Even minor errors can sell for more than face value depending on how dramatic the mistake appears. The historical importance of the drummer boy quarter also contributes to its lasting appeal. When the bicentennial coinage was introduced, the United States was celebrating 200 years of independence with parades, fireworks, and nationwide patriotic events. The government released 3 special designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, but the drummer boy quarter became the most popular by far. Millions of Americans saved these coins as keepsakes, making the 1776 to 1976 quarter one of the most widely collected coins of all time. Many families still pass them down from generation to generation, and search trends for rare bicentennial quarters continue to rise every year. Even though most drummer boy quarters remain common in circulated condition, higher quality examples with strong detail, no wear, and bright surfaces can be worth more. Silver bicentennial quarters and special proof strikes also attract collectors because fewer were minted. The combination of unique design, dual date, silver versions, and error possibilities keeps the drummer boy quarter highly relevant in today's coin collecting world. Anyone who finds one should check for mint mark, metal composition, and unusual features. While not every 1776 to 1976 quarter is rare, certain examples are significantly more desirable. Collectors around the world continue searching for rare drummer boy quarter errors, high-quality strikes, and silver bicentennial quarters. The demand remains strong because this coin marks a once-in-a-lifetime milestone in United States history. The drummer boy quarter represents patriotism, independence, and national heritage, and its design remains instantly recognizable. From pocket change discoveries to long-held family collections, the excitement of finding a rare 1776 to 1976 quarter continues to grow. The story of the drummer boy quarter shows that a coin can be more than currency. It can represent history, art, culture, and memories shared across generations. Whether someone owns a single example or an entire collection, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter remains an American favorite. The search continues for rare bicentennial quarter errors, silver drummer boy coins, and high-quality examples that stand out from the billions made. This enduring popularity ensures that the drummer boy quarter will remain one of the most searched coins in the United States for many years to come. Next up, 1974 5-cent coin from the United States, also known as the Jefferson nickel, is one of the most interesting and widely collected coins in American circulation history. Today we are talking about everything related to the 1974 nickel, including its history, design, composition, minting details, mint marks, varieties, errors, rarity, and the most valuable 1974 5-cent coins ever discovered. If you are a coin collector, a beginner in numismatics, or someone who wants to learn whether 1974 nickel in your pocket might be worth more than its face value, stay tuned because this coin has more secrets than most people realize. The story of the 1974 Jefferson nickel connects American history, wartime metal changes, design evolution, and rare unexpected minting mistakes that can turn a common coin into a valuable treasure. Many people today search for 1,974 nickels because millions were made, yet only a small portion have features that make them desirable for collectors. Understanding what separates an ordinary nickel from a valuable one is the key, and that begins with knowing the background of the Jefferson nickel series. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The coin features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The designer was Felix Schlag, and the design remained mostly unchanged for decades. The 1974 nickel comes from this classic era before major design updates arrived in the later years. The 1974 5-cent coin is made of a copper-nickel alloy, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition returned after the wartime silver alloy used between 1942 and 1945. By 1974, the coin had already been in circulation for more than 30 years, and still remained an important part of American currency. The year 1974 saw 3 main mint locations producing the Jefferson nickel: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia produced coins with no mint mark, Denver produced coins with the D mint mark, and San Francisco produced the S mint mark coins mainly for collectors in uncirculated and special finish sets. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of coins in 1974, making the no mint mark nickel the most common variety of the year. These coins circulated heavily and are still found in pocket change today, although finding a well-preserved example becomes much more difficult as time passes. The Denver Mint also produced a very large number of 1,974 nickels. The D Mint mark can be found on the right side of the coin, next to Monticello on the reverse. Even though the Denver mintage is high, not all coins from Denver were struck with the same sharpness or clarity. Many coins show weak strikes, and that affects collector interest. The San Francisco Mint in 1974 did not make regular circulating nickels. Instead, it produced coins with the S Mint mark only for collectors, in special finishes and sets. These coins were not released into everyday circulation, meaning that the S Mint mark 1974 nickel typically survives in much better condition compared to Philadelphia and Denver. Because of its intended purpose, the S nickel is less common in the general population, and collectors will often look for coins with clean details, sharp strikes, and attractive appearance. While most 1974 nickels are common, condition makes the biggest difference in value. Coins that were stored carefully or never circulated remain the most desirable. Collectors look for coins with full steps on Monticello, meaning the horizontal lines on the building are fully visible and not worn down. These steps are one of the most important features for the Jefferson nickel series. On many 1974 nickels, the steps are weak, partially missing, or flattened due to heavy circulation. Finding a coin with strong, well-defined steps can make a major difference, especially on coins from Philadelphia and Denver. Even though millions of 1974 nickels exist, very few have perfectly sharp details. The stronger the strike and the more original surface a coin has, the more impressive it becomes for collectors. While most 1974 nickels are worth only face value, certain coins with rare striking quality or unusual features can bring surprisingly high prices. Collectors often look for coins with clean fields, original luster, and no contact marks. The difference between a common coin and a rare one is often within the tiny details. Another reason collectors search 1974 nickels is because of minting errors that turn ordinary coins into highly desirable pieces. Errors happen when something unexpected occurs during the coin production process, and these mistakes can create coins that are unique. Some of the most interesting 1974 nickel errors include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not centered during striking. The more dramatic the off-center, especially when the date remains visible, the more valuable the coin can be. Another sought-after error is a double die, where parts of the design appear doubled. Collectors search for doubling on the lettering, the date, and the features of Jefferson's portrait. While major double die varieties for 1974 nickels are not widely known, minor doubling can still be interesting to collectors. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchette, which means a 1974 nickel was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another denomination or metal. These wrong planchette errors are extremely rare and can be worth significant amounts if authenticated. Another type of error includes die cracks, where raised lines appear across the coin due to fractures in the die used to strike it. Although small die cracks are common, dramatic ones can attract collector attention. There are also clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut blank. These errors are easy to spot and can add value depending on severity and appearance. When searching through 1974 nickels, paying attention to the rim, the edges, and the sharpness of details is important. Coins that look different from the standard appearance may be worth taking a closer look at. The most common 1974 nickels are the worn examples that have been circulating for over 50 years. These coins usually have flattened features, dull surfaces, and are worth only their face value. However, if someone finds a coin with crisp details, original shine, and no wear, it becomes far more interesting. Collectors often focus on eye appeal, and even a common coin can stand out if it looks attractive. One of the fascinating things about the 1974 nickel is that it represents an era before modern changes to the Jefferson design. Now we are talking about the Connecticut State Quarter Coin 1974 from the United States, a coin that collectors around the world search for because of its history, its design, and its unexpected interest among people who love rare United States coins. Even though the official Connecticut State Quarter was released in 1999, many collectors still search for 1974 quarters connected to the United States mint history, and the 1974 quarter remains one of the most discussed Washington quarters because of its details, its minting background, and the possibility of finding valuable varieties in circulation today. This video will explore everything related to the Connecticut State Quarter Coin 1974 from the United States, including its story, design features, production, mint marks, rare errors, key details, and what makes some 1974 quarters highly desirable among coin collectors. When coin collectors search for 1974 quarters, they often pay attention to small details that most people overlook. The 1974 quarter carries the familiar portrait of George Washington that appeared on United States quarters for decades, and understanding the details of this design can help viewers recognize what makes certain coins stand out. The front of the coin shows the profile of George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty above and the date 1974 below. The phrase "In God We Trust" appears beside the portrait, just like other Washington quarter coins from the United States. The reverse shows the eagle with outstretched wings, a symbol that remained part of United States quarter design before the introduction of state quarters many years later. While the official Connecticut design featuring the charter oak came in 1999, collectors still research earlier dates like 1974 because these coins continue to circulate today. The 1974 quarter from the United States was minted at different locations, and the mint mark can make a big difference to collectors. Coins may show a small D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia, and each version can have its own collector interest. Even though many 1974 quarters were produced in large numbers, small differences in strike quality, condition, and minting characteristics can make certain examples more interesting to people who study United States coins. Many collectors continue to search coin rolls, pocket change, and old coin jars hoping to find a 1974 quarter that stands out from the rest. One of the reasons the 1974 quarter continues to attract attention is the possibility of rare and unusual minting errors. Coin errors happen when something unexpected occurs during production, and collectors often look for coins that show doubled letters, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual surfaces. A doubled die on the date, motto, or lettering can make a 1974 quarter more desirable, and some collectors search specifically for coins that show doubling around the word Liberty or the numbers in the date. Another interesting type of error involves off-center strikes, where part of the design appears shifted. These coins can attract interest because they are uncommon and each one is unique. Some collectors also search for coins mistakenly struck on leftover planchets from earlier years, which makes the 1974 quarter even more fascinating for people who enjoy numismatic history. Understanding the details of the 1974 quarter also means paying attention to the edge and the metal composition. The 1974 quarter from the United States is made of copper-nickel clad, unlike earlier silver quarters. Some people mistakenly believe that certain 1974 quarters may have silver content, and this has created curiosity among viewers who are just learning about United States coins. While regular 1974 quarters are not silver, collectors pay attention to weight differences because an unusually heavy or unusual-looking example could suggest something out of the ordinary. The edge should show a copper-colored stripe, and checking this detail is one of the easiest ways to understand whether a quarter fits regular minting specifications. Collectors discussing the Connecticut State Quarter coin 1974 from the United States also point out that the popularity of state quarters increased interest in earlier Washington quarters. Many new collectors started with the 1999 Connecticut quarter featuring the famous charter oak, and then expanded their interest into older dates like 1974. This connection helped keep the 1974 quarter active in the coin community, especially for people who want to build complete collections of United States quarters from different eras. The idea that a common-looking quarter could still have hidden value keeps collectors searching, watching, and learning more about coins they encounter in everyday life. People love asking whether a 1974 quarter from the United States can be valuable today, and the answer depends on rarity, condition, and specific characteristics. While most 1974 quarters are still worth face value if they have heavy wear, examples that look sharp, well-preserved, or show unusual features can attract collector attention. A clean surface with strong details and no deep scratches makes the coin more desirable. Collectors also check whether the strike is bold, especially around Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. These details help determine whether a coin stands out among millions of regular strikes. Another interesting feature of the 1974 quarter is how widely it circulated across the United States, which means many viewers today might still find one in ordinary change. Searching through rolls from the bank or coins stored away for decades remains one of the most exciting ways to discover a 1974 quarter that could have special traits. Many collectors enjoy the thrill of hunting for rare dates and unusual minting characteristics without needing to spend money buying coins from other sources. The 1974 quarter continues to be one of the most searched coins online because people want to know whether they already have something interesting in their house. As we continue exploring the Connecticut State Quarter coin 1974 from the United States, it becomes clear that this coin combines history, curiosity, and collector excitement. Even though it is not a modern commemorative design, the 1974 quarter forms an important link in the story of United States coinage that eventually led to the creation of the state quarter series. Knowing what to look for, understanding the details, and paying attention to minting differences can help viewers recognize whether their 1974 quarter deserves a closer look. The interest in this coin continues to grow as more people learn about rare error types, mint mark variations, and unexpected discoveries found in everyday circulation. So if you have a Connecticut state quarter coin 1974 from the United States, or simply a 1974 Washington quarter that has been sitting untouched for years, now is the perfect time to examine it carefully. Look for sharp details, unusual features, mint marks, and anything that sets it apart from regular worn examples. Many collectors began their journey with a single coin found by accident, and the 1974 quarter remains one of the most exciting starting points because it is familiar, accessible, and still full of potential surprises. Keep watching, keep searching, and stay curious about United States coins, because the next interesting discovery could be in your pocket right now.